Although Katherine called the arena a pit in her mind, it was really just a natural crevasse in the ground in which grass didn't quite grow properly. It was an arena reserved for fighting, and the exact same spot where Bastian had fought Rogue in an alpha challenge not so long ago. Sometime before the change, someone had sprayed a white chalk outline around the crevasse's perimeter, and the 50 by 50-foot area was where the recruiting rites, both the tournament and the offers that occurred afterwards, were to take place. It was positively swarming with wolves, many of them yipping and howling excitedly in anticipation of the rites. Katherine and her peers were corralled into a small area off to the side of the pit specially reserved for recruits. Katherine spotted Bastian right away. She didn't know how anyone could possibly miss him. He was the large, majestic wolf, his black fur somehow darker than the night itself, standing slightly apart from the other alphas who'd gathered to watch them. His presence soothed her fear somewhat, but nervousness still caused a nauseous feeling to roll through her belly. A large part of her anxiety stemmed from the fact that she didn't know who she'd be fighting. Names had been drawn anonymously by Luther to determine who would be facing who in the first round of the rites. She wouldn't know who she'd been pitted up against until she was called into the arena. She waited with bated breath to see who'd be first. Her stomach tightened uncomfortably when Luther stalked her way, but relaxed when he nudged another wolf. Katherine was fairly certain the large, sinewy creature with dark brown fur was Vincent Vale, one of the more physically impressive werewolves her age, into the pit along with another large wolf, this one tawny with the lips of his mouth already pulled back into a snarl, of whose name Katherine wasn't sure. Luther left the pit once both wolves reached the center. Katherine watched, equal parts horrified and fascinated, as Bastian, who as head alpha was the ultimate authority of Haven Falls, released a piercing howl into the air, and the wolves clashed together. The fight was on. Claws and teeth sank into fur and flesh, neither wolf giving an inch as their bodies continuously collided. It was a battle of sheer strength, and a winner could only be decided when one of the competitors was either forced out of the arena or submitted, giving up and baring his neck to his opponent. The loud noise from the crowd only seemed to energize both wolves as the back-and-forth exchange of blows between them carried on. Eventually, the tawny wolf tired, and the dark one took advantage by snapping his jaw around one of his hind legs. The tawny wolf howled in agony as the dark wolf tugged on the injured leg, pulling him towards the edge of the arena. It was hard to watch as the injured wolf dug his claws into the earth, fighting with all his might to stay in the match. But his strength had diminished greatly since the start of the fight, and the dark wolf, Vincent, was able to drag his struggling form out of the arena with ease. And with that, the first match of the rites was over.